Hello, I am Badri Shaparna, a business leader with over 25 years of experience, serving customers large and small in a variety of industries, starting from machine tools to semiconductors. During the course of my interaction with customers and in the market, I found that there are a lot of techniques and skills which are needed for people who are representing the organization in the field. The selling, which we call, not necessarily takes place in the field, but sometimes it takes back inside the organization also. It is the desire of many organizations to have very large accounts. Large accounts, they come with a lot of difficulties, but if you are structured in approach, it also makes sure that your life is very comfortable. Spin selling is primarily targeted towards large accounts. What does spin stand for? Asking a series of questions, unearthing data in a customer place so that we have the right solution to him. Because customer doesn't buy just because you take a product or he finds you interesting or the organization is big. He finally buys because there is some need which has to be satisfied. Either he already has something which is existing, he is unhappy, he wants a change, or he is not aware and he wants to have it. So spin is a technique where we ask the customer, what is the current situation you have? Do you have a product? Do you have a solution? We unearth current facts. The next level is P stage, asking problem questions, primarily trying to identify whether customer, if he is using any alternative solution, does he have a problem, or does he have a problem which is not addressed by anybody till date. These are all called problem questions. That means you are unearthing current difficulties. Most of the times these two things are felt sufficient by the sales guy to move forward, which I explained to you is much difficult in practical world when we interact with customers. The third topic or the third way of questioning is implication questions. Primarily this is something like, suppose you have a reduction in a performance level X, will it impact your parameter Y so much? This is a very sensitive area and this is from where the intensity of interaction becomes very tough. The fourth one is need questions, primarily to understand what is the value or what is the expectation or the motive the customer has to get something out of us. Fundamentally, as you see, spin is a series of questions on which we sit, probe, identify the customer need and try to offer a solution. I had my own experiences in this. We had a fantastic training program of spin. We structured over a long period of time, very intense, very good, useful questions for the customers we were planning to meet. As you know, the spin is a progressive questionnaire, but we went in stages. But the common feedback which we had was, customer response after some time was not necessarily cooperative. The reason was, as we tried to change, the customer was changing. As you see this here, a samurai must remain alert at all times. This samurai is the sales guy, me for example. For a master it is unpredictable because the customer whom I was interacting was able to sense it faster. Though he was trained, he is a human being at the end of the day. If you try to probe beyond a certain limit, probably the first thing you will have is, hey, stop. Or they will mislead you. They give you a lot of choices so that you get confused. This was the common experience we had. That means we had fantastic questions at the S stage, we had fantastic questions at the P stage, we knew what customer was facing problem, and the biggest mistake we did was, we went and sold. What did we get? We got peanuts. We had a bunch of spectacular failure guys in the sales. Now this does happen to many organizations because every sales guy is eager to make a sale. But I'll tell you, this is a mistake. The I stage, the third stage, very strong word, I as you know, was an implication stage where we were trying to collect data like what if this happens, how much will it impact? That means we are touching some sensitivity of the organization. And this is where the stumbling block in communication comes in the spin mode. So what we did was, we enhanced the spin approach. Why did we enhance? we found that after this stage, any sales guy would forget about the forest because he would be able to see the trees in the beginning. So he would make a sale, and suddenly we realized when we look back, we lost a pipeline of opportunities. That is why we went into what we call enhanced spin. The reason is, we understood that we need a bigger way to attack this large value accounts, and spin became a part of it. And this was a stage in the account development, a critical stage I would say. What did we do? The stage one is surveying. Collect a wealth of information starting from the address to the key people, organization setup, the way the decisions are made, who influences the decision, what basis do they take a decision, and what do they have an opinion about supplier A, B, C, and us also. This was done not only by observation, we also interacted with a lot of supply chain people who are also providing different products to the organization. This is a very critical stage. This sets the base for the next stages. The next stage is, depending on the complexity of information which we have collected, please remember large accounts have different hierarchies. They may have a matrix organization, but the decision process takes place by blending various functionalities in the organization. And each organization has different levels, and it is very important that we position from our side an appropriate level for interaction with the organization. It's something like if you are talking to a director, we need to make sure that from our side, a senior person enough, confident enough to present the organization, present the benefits of tying up, is a part of the interaction. This is what I call the balance approach. We also adopted what we call penetrate as high and as wide as possible, because we need to make sure that any information which we gather during the course of interaction has to be consistent from our perception point of view. Multi-level penetration, this is what we call. Next one is identify a leader for the entire process. He is the person responsible to take through the entire cracking of the account. That means he has to decide who will open the doors. Are we dealing with a satisfied account? How should we make it more satisfying? Size is too small or big? Whom to put in at the interaction level? All these decisions have to be taken by the lead person. The third most important stage was putting all these three stages of information collection, interaction, understanding, everything into a dossier. Dossier primarily records, helps us to evaluate for the future, maintain the records of the organization, track the progress and update. It is about people, the process at the customer place, what trends are taking place in their markets. So anybody who sees this scan dossier has a quick picture of who are the people who will help me, what is driving this business, why the business has increased, why it has decreased, how do I see the future. So they can take a lot of proactive steps from our side to keep the key account intact. So the scan dossier is a very sensitive document made available to only a few people because it determines the success of the organization. It's a key to the success. Now what I am propagating is key account management with SPIN, because key account management approach involving SPIN enables to have an enterprise account. We can set up the right set of organizations inside our company who can represent us in the field. We will have a common thread of understanding when we have moments of up-down cycles. This is very important because key accounts need the support of all the people, and this all the people involvement is what drives the organization towards performance excellence, which is the dream of all organizations, because you are delivering things in a structured way, manageable way, sensitive to things which are changing, and most importantly, while you depend on people, you are also people independent, because many changes can take place in the customer place, also inside the organization. We have to make sure that the business imperative is maintained. I am sure you will benefit from my experience and you will be able to apply in your lifetimes. Thank you.